So you got a time machine and you're going to travel back to the year 2012, but the time machine only has room for 5 Hero Factory sets. So which 5 sets are you going to bring back to the present day? Well, let's discuss my 5 top picks, and you can see if you agree or disagree with my thoughts. Let's dive on in. Okay, let's start things off with the last pick, the number 5 position. This belongs to Thornax. Mate, when this set came out, people were losing their frickin' minds, and it was all because of this new piece right here. In the very early days when this set hadn't even been released yet, but people were studying images of it online, everyone was trying to figure out what the heck this specific color was. It's obvious now, but people weren't so sure back then, especially because it was a new color. But at the time, many speculated that the color here was actually teal, and that teal was returning. So for those of you who don't know the interesting story behind the history of the LEGO color teal, I'll briefly go over it for you now. So around 2008, the color dark turquoise, or teal, it was discontinued. LEGO designer Mark Stafford was tasked with building the LEGO set Dark Panther from the wonderful theme Exoforce. Now, the color that this set was going to be would determine what color LEGO would end up retiring. LEGO stated to Mark, they said, hey, if you use teal, we're going to discontinue the color of purple. If you use purple, we're going to discontinue the color of teal. And if you use red, we're going to kill both of those colors. So Mark had a choice, and he chose to make the set purple, and as a result, teal was gone from the LEGO color palette. Many were pretty upset with this news and they blamed Mark. I don't really blame Mark, I mean, he did what he could with what LEGO gave him. But yeah, for the longest time, teal just simply didn't exist until somewhat recently, around 2018, it came back. So now it's not as rare as it used to be, but it's still a beloved color. So when early pictures of this set were floating around, people were freaking out because the prospect of teal returning was on the horizon. But it turns out it was another new color, which was medium azure. Now, I remember being disappointed that it wasn't teal, but oi, regardless, medium azure is a rad color. And the fact that we got hand sockets and limbs in this color, that's awesome. Even today, these are super helpful, beautifully colored pieces. So I love this set because of, fun stories of the past like that, but also because it's got lots of unique and great parts. Not just those azure pieces. We've got some nice orange pieces, some black parts, these nice Gorast wings. All of this just rocks. So it's a great parts pack, and this lovely bug-like design of the set, I think that's insanely cool. All the time we see regular humanoid designs, but to see a cool bug like this, that's exciting, that's different. I love it when a set breaks new ground and creates hype, and it just has brilliant parts. This set's got everything, man. Now to the number 4 spot. This goes to my beloved, it's Breakout Surge. Now, of all the different Surges that exist, I think I classify this as my favorite version of Surge. I frickin' adore his 1.0 version, that lovely trans yellow lightning piece. It's a striking color scheme as well. He's just great. But I don't know, this Surge having a lot more posability and rocking this cool new blue lightning piece, that's just so cool. I remember loving this set when it came out, because we finally got a return of that Surge mask. It had been a few years, and it's back. So it was lovely to be able to buy that mask again and see it on store shelves. Now look, Surge's design isn't all that unique and all that different. But hey, that's okay. He's still a solid hero design, and all of the Breakout heroes were among the best of the best when it comes to Hero Factory. But yeah, I'm biased because I love Surge, he's got a cool mask that is also my logo, all of that. But I do love the progression of this character across all the different versions of Surge. I think Surge consistently maintained a really nice, consistent level of awesomeness. The design for Surge was always very similar. The character never deviated in weird directions that just felt too alien for him. He was always the same old cool blue dude. And I think that's quite relatable and cool, right? Any version of Surge is cool, but I really do like this one. The third set that I'll be picking up when I travel back to the past, well, it's none other than Breakout Rocker. Now, I've seen many people say that Breakout Rocker is peak hero design, and I can totally agree with that. He ranks among the best, and might just be the best looking hero that we ever got. Ever. The way that the LEGO designers layered the armor onto Rocker, it's clean, it's compact, it's well done. The dynamic look to his sick crossbow weapon, the lovely splash of color from his hexagonal techno shield, and this cool looking ammo belt filled with spears, plus some shiny gold armor, everything about him is cool. And we can't forget those handcuffs as well. Sure, they were a staple to all the different heroes, but hey, he still had them and they still looked cool. Everything about Rocker is perfection. Now also, with the last version of Rocker he had that cool animal themed mask. And many of the heroes, well, they had a similar story to him. They had their classic 1.0 heads, some of them got cool 2.0 heads, and then others got that animal-themed head. But for all the different Breakout characters, they went back to their classic 1.0 heads. But Rocker never had one of those because he didn't exist in the 1.0 era. Now, I remember when this set was coming out, people were excited to see what this new headpiece was actually going to look like. And many of us, including myself, thought that this looked perfect. He's got a brilliant standard mask design. Everything about Rocker is just perfection, man. He's exactly what you want from a standard Hero Factory hero. He's well made, he's got unique ideas, cool pieces, cool designs, he has it all. The perfect Hero Factory set. The number 2 spot now goes to one that you might have seen coming. It's a real beauty. It's Black Phantom. Man, just such a stunning, sleek design for this set. That rich, dark red and illustrious black armor. Everything about him is so perfectly evil. I feel like this was the wave of Hero Factory where LEGO finally found its footing with the idea of Hero Factory. They had the time to better understand the new CCBS system, and the theme had been running for a few years now, and as a result, we got some of the best Hero Factory sets ever. Because the theme was finally able to bloom into what it was always meant to be, and I think Black Phantom encapsulates that so much. It's a brilliant CCBS design and just a top-notch set that utilizes CCBS to the best of its ability. The cool double-layered legs, the wonderful torso design, and even just those cool-looking weapons and the nice mask. It's sets like this that show you just how good CCBS can look. This was also the set that made me start to actually fall in love with Hero Factory. Yeah, back in 2012, I was still a bit skeptical about this whole Hero Factory thing. I was collecting it, but I still didn't really love it. I thought Bionicle was better, and I just resented Hero Factory because it replaced Bionicle. But after building Black Phantom, I realized, oh wait, this theme, these pieces, this concept of Hero Factory, it's brilliant. Any set that can remove my skepticism and make me fall in love with a theme, that's a winner. Plus, Black Phantom is the perfect parts pack if you need black pieces. And let's face it, everyone needs some black pieces, it's a very easy color to work with. Oh, and this little blaster that can turn into a tiny spider, so adorable, such a fun play feature. Everything about this set rocks. Oogly doogly, now let's talk about some honorable mentions and then we'll jump over to that number 1 spot. So in no particular order, we start with Voltix. Now I bought a couple copies of this set when it first came out back in the day because the pieces were great. You got 3 purple parts, and there were 3 decent purple pieces. Plus that recolored gunmetal Black Phantom mask and these electricity pieces, it's a good parts pack. Although, if I was picking this set up, I'd rather buy this set. 66452 Stringer Voltix Mission Pack. I do love a good 2-pack, hero versus villain. Now sure, this is just a box that contains both Breakout Stringer and Voltix. It's a package with 2 more packages inside of it. But hey, any weird obscure set like this, it rocks. I love it and I want it. Especially because this is another one of those South Korea exclusive sets. So it's a pretty hard one to find, and that's the perfect thing to pick up if I'm going back in time with my time machine. Speeder Demon is another banger. Again, I wish it had a little bit more purple, in a similar way to how I wish Voltix had a little bit more purple. If it did have that little bit more, maybe Speeder Demon would have made it into my top 5. But come on, a lime dude with 4 arms riding on a purple bike? That's a concept that's pretty easy to fall in love with. Now, I just did a review talking about this set in great detail, so if you want to hear some more of my thoughts on this set, you might as well check that out. There's no use repeating myself. Storm XL is up next, and this might be my favorite of the XL characters. And boy, this has some pretty awesome pieces in it. Tons of these silver drone armor pieces, cool looking swords with a lovely translucent blue highlight to it. So sick. And also seeing Stormer with a big old buff chest, like he's hit the gym, he's done some P90X, and he's ready to beat up some bad guys. That's pretty cool. Toxic Reaper is another honorable mention. When I bought this set, I wasn't actually all that excited for it. I really just wanted that cool green flame piece, and part of me at the time was like, maybe I'll use some of these pieces in a mock. Another reason I didn't like him is I thought he was just kind of like a clone of Kuroda. He looked too similar. I was like, whatever. But when I actually built this set and put it together, I was pleasantly surprised with it. Because it's a really good character design. For a smaller size set like this, they packed in some great techniques. Like this cool chest design that gives him some abs and some pecs, and there's a lovely blaster arm that also connects to these barrels on the back, and that sinister mask. That's great. There's a lot of reasons to love Toxic Reaper. Plus, it's always nice when some of the smaller, cheaper sets get a lot of love. Because sure, the big expensive ones are always going to be cool, but when a cheap one's cool, that's really nice. And finally, Breakout Evo. Now, Rocker is one of the best Hero Factory hero designs ever, but Evo, well, he's up there as well. He's also using CCBS in some phenomenal ways. I especially love the shaping around that gun arm there, looks gorgeous. And he too, much like Rocker, has a sick new mask that carries on the legacy of his former 2.0 self. And it takes it in some really exciting, new and different directions, giving us one of, if not the best mask out of all of Hero Factory. Although Surge's mask is cooler, but still, this is a sick, radical, beautiful mask. Okay, well that's some honorable mentions, that's my numbers 5 to 2. Now it's time for the number 1 spot. I'm sure this one comes as no surprise to many of you. It's arguably the coolest and darkest character to come out of Hero Factory. It's Core Hunter. A dude with tons of great backstory, a mask that looks like he's fresh out of the video game Splinter Cell with that sick night vision goggle design, and you combine that with his name, Core Hunter. He hunts down heroes and rips out their hearts, or rather their cores, and keeps them as trophies. Disturbing and dark for LEGO, but that's what makes him pretty awesome, right? Plus, lots of great red and black pieces and a sleek and sinister look that's just as good as Black Phantom's design, probably even a little better. Every single aspect of Core Hunter is peak. Every single aspect of Core Hunter is perfect. He's easily one of the best characters. Not just from this wave, from all of Hero Factory. There is so much to love about this guy, I don't even think I have time to pack it into this video, but I already did that in a previous video, so if you want to hear more in-depth thoughts on why I love Core Hunter, go and check that one out. But all in all, such a good set. So those are the sets that I'm bringing back to the present day in my time machine. What sets would you bring back to the present day if you also had a time machine? Do you have similar picks, or did I miss something awesome that you absolutely need? Or are you going to do something cool and be like, I'm going to just buy 5 Core Hunters, because why not? That's a great idea. Let me know what you'd buy in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. Love you tons. Happy building, and bye for now.